Thank you for listening to Permission Granted. I'm your host, Juliette Ricci Lagman. On this episode, we are continuing the Be Like Water series, and I'm going to add a little twist today, so stay tuned for that momentarily. Um, I'm continuing with the book. I'm kind of entering part two of the book, and I'm going to read three selections today. They're pretty self-explanatory, so I'm just going to get right into it. And then I have a fun little extra piece when we complete that today. So thanks again for joining, and let's get into it. I'm going to read a piece I wrote in the book about my one of my favorite places in the world, which is Lake Crescent. It's absolutely beautiful, and it's 20 minutes outside of Port Angeles on the Olympic Peninsula in Washington State in the Pacific Northwest. Um, a lot of you will know this as, very rainy area, but the water is so incredible. And on a hot day, it is just delicious. So I'm going to read this right now and we'll get going. Dear Diary, my husband and I have come to Lake Crescent near Port Angeles on the Olympic Peninsula. This lake has the most glorious fresh water. It is the most beautiful and peaceful place I know. Every summer we come here so I can float in the water and cleanse my soul. I stand on the end of the dock and say to myself, one, two, three. Ah, just do it. And with that, suddenly I'm in the water. The reward in this case far outweighs the fear of jumping in. In a world where you are damned if you do and damned if you don't, in a world where flying under the radar is not the safest bet, it's actually the most dangerous threat. Just jump. Just bet on yourself. If you jump in the ring and shine too bright, you are judged. You are judged if you fall down and fail as well. If you don't go for your dreams, you are judged as well. So you might as well have fun. And that piece is pretty self-explanatory, but just saying, damned if you do, damned if you don't. Um, do what you want and do it now. And yes, we have responsibilities. Of course, we have to pay our bills, and but you can start to eke out and design your life in ways where you're carving out some time for you and, going towards things that bring you joy in life. So, the next piece, um, kind of is a continuation of that. Is it that it's okay to go for your dreams as long as they're chosen from this pre-approved list provided to you by your family and society? Life is truly short. He would have been 77 this year, my father. He passed away 11 years ago. Enjoy it. Love the process. Embrace the ups and downs, the toll, the sweat, the tears, the heartbreak. Love all of it because that's what makes us human. It is what makes it worth it, never taking it for granted. I would rather have a huge heartbreak because I took a chance than a low level fear coursing through my body at all times caused by the chances I didn't take. There will always be fear, so choose your fear. And then the third piece I'm going to read is um, a little bit of a homage to driving around and what I observe as I drive around, and kind of talks about loneliness and how isolated we are in this culture. I used to drive by dark houses with the blinds drawn shut and think how sad it was for the lonely people who lived there. How sad for the lonely dark house. Now I just drive by and think how happy those folks might be to have privacy and solitude. How satisfying the life the house has led. How full, bright, open, noisy, loved. The house is having a well-deserved rest. We all need a rest sometimes, more often than not. All the cracked paint, stains, broken pathways, and weeds, they all add up to a life well lived, just like the people living there. So that piece is just obviously talking about, loneliness and isolation, and then, trying to set a good spin on it and tell another story. Um, in this new adventure in my life, I'm gonna be exploring that in a whole other part of the world. So more to come. The last thing I wanted to talk about, kind of a fun idea, is I was talking to a friend recently and I asked, who are three people, dead or alive, that you would want to bring to dinner and have dinner with? And it's a really interesting question because, um, it stumps some folks. They might not have three people, but it's really gets you thinking about who are your influences and what you love in life and kind of the direction you're going. It's really telling about, um, you learn a lot about a person when you ask that question. So I want to share mine really quickly. And if you don't know these people, which most of you will know at least one or two, then go look them up because it's kind of fun. The first person I would invite to dinner um, is Anthony Bourdain. And as most of you know, he's passed. And my husband and I used to watch his show, Parts Unknown and No Reservations, every Sunday night religiously. We loved the foodie travel and learning about different cultures. So Anthony Bourdain wrote Kitchen Confidential, I think in year 2000, and it was one of the most popular memoirs, kind of a new take on memoirs. And he talks about his time, obviously, in the kitchen, working in a kitchen in a New York restaurant and all the kind of behind the scenes stuff. And it is an amazing book. I love it. He was 45 when he wrote that. And from writing that book, he got a deal to do a food show basically on the Travel Network. So anyway, he took it from there, and the rest of his life, he was traveling, I think, 260 days a year, going all over the world. And, really the point of the show was just displaying like how more alike we all are, then we are different. And, if you go to someone's house or, grandma's house in Italy, um, and have dinner, you're bonded instantly and you learn so much about them and you can have these amazing, beautiful discussions, um, and, and joy and experiences. So, anyway, he is sadly he passed away. But he is who I would love to talk to, and he'd probably get in an argument with another one of my guests, but I think that would be really interesting. And I would just sit back and maybe, referee. But anyhow, second person would be Oprah. And most people know who Oprah is. The short and simple reason I'd want to have dinner with her is because she always makes people feel good about themselves and she shows a genuine interest, and asks really interesting questions and thinks about the bigger picture in life, thought leader kind of a situation. She loves books, and I do too, and has promoted literacy with her book club. And, I just idolize her. Uh, I love her, what she's done in her career and who she is, and it would be incredible to meet her. Third person is Elizabeth Gilbert, and Elizabeth Gilbert, as many of you know, wrote the book Eat, Pray, Love, where she went on a journey in her 30s and kind of a spiritual journey, but she went to Italy and India and Indonesia or Bali. And literally, like the title, Eat, Pray, Love. And then a movie was made. If you haven't seen it, it's incredible. The book is better, obviously. Um, Javier Bardem and Julia Roberts are in the movie. Julia Roberts plays Elizabeth Gilbert. And then she's had other books come out, including Big Magic, which is about creativity. Just incredible. The thing about Eat, Pray, Love is it was a phenomenon, and it really, spoke to women all over the world, saying you're not stuck and you're free to be who you are and be authentic and, explore and live your passion and find yourself. So it really struck a chord, cultural chord throughout the world. And people will go on Eat, Pray, Love tours, to this day, all over, going all over, Italy, etc. Even this past year, I kind of did that as well. It was just a little bit. I went to Italy, the Philippines, and Sedona, Arizona, kind of in different trips, but same effect. So pretty fantastic. Um, Anyhow, so Elizabeth Gilbert just came out with this book called All the Way to the River, and she's on book tour right now. And it's about her love, Rhea, who died of pancreatic cancer, and talks about the what they went through, the end of her life. I just started the book. I love it. Um, it's a little controversial because I guess it gets really dark. But anyhow, give it a chance. And I'm going to kind of wrap up here, but just I'd love to hear from you guys. Who, dead or alive, would you want to have dinner with? Um, if you could choose anyone in the world. Um, Anyhow, love you guys, and we'll be back for more. Take care. Thanks for listening, everybody. I'm so grateful you were able to join us today. Please share and like and review this podcast. Also, if you have any comments or questions about anything, I would love to hear from you. You can reach me at juliettericci@gmail.com, and info is in the show notes. Till next time, have a great week.